Hey there, I'm Mike Upland, early retiree at age 55 last year. If you're still working in your 60s, you might think you're buying yourself extra security. But I've seen something surprising. For many people, those extra years cost far more than they give back, and not just in money. In fact, some of the biggest regrets I hear from retirees has nothing to do with running out of cash and everything to do with the years they can't get back. Today, I'll show you why working past 60 can quietly shrink your time, health, and freedom, and how to figure out if you're already past your ideal retirement point. And here's the thing, even if you're years away from 60, what I'm going to share could save you from making one of the most common and costly retirement mistakes. Knowing this early gives you time to plan smarter. And stick around until the end because I'll share a simple framework you can use to figure out whether you're already past your ideal retirement date. Now, to be clear, some people need to work past 60 for financial reasons, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've seen far too many people keep working when they didn't need to because of fear, habit, or the belief that just one more year will make all the difference. Often those extra years really don't help as much as you think. I know someone who is 59 and decided to keep working until 62 for just a little extra cushion. But when we went through the numbers, those 3 extra years only bumped his retirement income by about 180 a month. And that's before even considering the higher taxes he would pay in those last working years. So 180 more each month for the next 3 years, or the next 3 years of not working and enjoying more of life. You can bet what he chose to do. You guessed it, he retired. And this isn't unusual. Another friend of mine planned to work from age 60 to 64, thinking it would dramatically boost his travel budget. But once we ran the numbers, the story changed. His higher salary in those extra years pushed him into the IRMA brackets, meaning he had to pay hundreds more each year for Medicare Part B and Part D. On top of that, he missed the chance to do low tax Roth conversions and ended up in a higher overall tax bracket. In the end, his net gain was about the cost of one overseas trip a year, hardly the windfall he imagined. And that's the thing, most online calculators assume every year you work adds the same value. They don't account for these diminishing returns after 60. So that's the myth. The longer I work, the safer I'll be. But the reality is sometimes the net benefit from an extra year or two is far smaller than you think, especially if your retirement savings are already close to where they need to be. And even if you're a few years away from 60, I'm glad you're watching this video because the earlier you understand this, the more options you'll have when your own decision point arrives. Then there's the health side of the equation. Your early 60s are often your last best window for peak physical activity, perfect for travel, hiking, active time with the grandkids, and those bucket list adventures. Health decline doesn't always follow a nice slow curve. It can change suddenly, and once those active years are gone, they don't come back. I think of a friend who worked into her late 60s. She'd planned a dream trip to Italy, but by the time she finally retired, she no longer had the stamina for it. The real cost wasn't in her bank account, it was the experiences she missed. So, why do people keep working when they don't need to? There are some big reasons. First, there's the one more year trap, but it's never just one. Then there's the safety illusion. A paycheck feels secure, but net gains can be small. Third, there's the loss of identity. Work feels like who we are, it's what defines us. And fourth, the success habit. High achievers keep pushing even when the payoff has faded. There's a fifth reason I see. I call it the benchmark blind spot. This is where people lock onto a number they heard from an article or a friend. Maybe it's 1 million, maybe it's 2 million, without ever calculating what they personally need. They keep working to hit that arbitrary target, not realizing they may have reached their actual enough years ago. Another myth, if I retire and it's a mistake, I can just pick up where I left off. The reality is, in many industries, it's hard to re enter at the same pay or role after stepping away. And that's why planning matters so much, so you can step away with confidence once and for all. The real goal isn't to retire as soon as possible or work as long as possible. It's to hit what I call your optimal retirement balance, where your health, finances, and emotional readiness all align. And here's how to find it. Step one, figure out your health timeline. Be honest about your energy, family health history, and how long you expect to be active. For example, if your parents stayed active into their late 80s, you might plan differently than someone whose family history includes earlier health challenges. Step two, do an enough analysis. Forget the magic numbers. Figure out what you actually need. If your dream retirement includes extensive travel, your enough will look very different from someone who wants a quiet, home based lifestyle. Step three, do a life value plan. Schedule the experiences that matter most in your most active years. And step four, plan for a tax smart drawdown. Coordinate withdrawals, Roth conversions, and Social Security timing to maximize what you keep. Strategic Roth conversions in your early retirement years can lower lifetime taxes and give you more flexibility later. Many people expect working longer will dramatically change their retirement lifestyle, but the reality is, for someone already close to their target, the extra years often add more stress than security. In fact, a New York Life study found nearly half of retirees between 62 and 70 wish they had retired sooner, and on average, they'd wish they'd done it 4 years earlier. That's a powerful reminder that more time doesn't always mean more satisfaction. So when you think about delaying retirement, don't just ask, what will I gain? Ask, what will I give up? What will those years be worth to me in health, relationships, and experiences? Delaying retirement isn't always wrong, but many people overestimate the benefits and underestimate the costs. At some point, the trade off shifts, and that's when an extra paycheck might not be worth the lost time, energy, and opportunity. Thanks for watching today. If you're nearing 60 years old or already there, I hope what I've had to say in this video has really motivated you to consider retirement if you have not already done so. And even if you are not 60, what I've said holds true to the benefits of retiring early in general, of course. Let me know in the comments, or if you've retired, share what brought you to the decision to retire and if what I've shared resonates with that decision. Comments are great as it helps us learn from each other and are much appreciated. And if you're ever on the go, Early Retirement Roadmap is also available wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure to download my free checklist, 12 must-do steps to retire sooner and smarter, and go to mikeupland.com for all of my media, including my blog. Until next time, this is Mike Upland, early retiree at age 55. Take care and make the most of today.